Come with us on a trip to Crete, Greece, and step into the land of myths and legends. This old island is full of surprises, and in this video, we'll show you the top 5 must-do things to make the most of your trip. Here are the top 5 things to do in Crete, Greece. Number 5. Knossos. Knossos is the name of a palace in the city that grew up around it. In the 18th century BC, Knossos was home to up to 100,000 people. The palace was built about 3,000 years ago. In Greek mythology, King Minos lived there and had Daedalus build a labyrinth to hold his son, the Minotaur. Many bad things happened to Knossos, like invasions, earthquakes, and the Duran eruption, which happened around 1625 BC. Arthur Evans, a British archaeologist, was the first person to dig there. He fixed up some of the buildings and paintings. You can see the large reception courtyard where the royal family used to entertain guests. You can also go into the throne room and sanctuary, walk a part of the royal way toward the coast, and look at the 4-story royal apartments. Number 4. Heraklion Archaeological Museum. The Archaeological Museum in Heraklion is the best place to learn about the oldest civilization in Europe. This museum has the most Minoan artifacts of any museum. The 20 rooms are set up in order of when they were made. You'll start in the Neolithic era, which was a long time before Crete's palaces were built. In the rooms that follow, you'll find jewelry, figurines used in religious ceremonies, vases, weapons, and armor. Whole frescoes from Minoan sites on Crete have been moved to the museum, as has the famous ivory figure of the bull jumper from Knossos Palace. The Phaistos disc, which is 15 centimeters in diameter and covered with symbols in a spiral pattern, is one artifact that no one knows much about. The Archaeological axe, which was found in the same named cave, also has strange writing on it. It has 15 symbols on it. Number 3. Elafonisi Beach. The beach is a nature reserve on the channel between the mainland and Elafonisi, a rectangular island known for the pink sand on its beaches and dunes. The water between the mainland and the island is clear, shallow, and like a lagoon. Often, you can walk from one to the other on sandbars without getting your feet wet. There is a huge natural pool where the water is only up to your ankles or knees deep. You can paddle or float in the water. When you add white sand, turquoise water, an azure sky, and views of the mountainous southwest coast of Crete, you have a small piece of paradise. Number 2. Samaria Gorge. The 16-kilometer hike starts at a viewing platform at the bottom of a winding path and wooden steps. The walls of rock that rise to almost 300 meters will knock you off your feet. On the way, the gorge will get narrower until it reaches a place called Gates or Iron Gates, where it is only 4 meters wide. Look up as you walk to see the endangered Crete, a type of wild goat that can climb steep rock faces with ease. At the end of the gorge, it's another 3 kilometers to the coastal village of Agia Romoli, where you can catch a ferry to Sogia in the west or Sfakia in the east. Number 1. Rethymno Old Town. The city used to be surrounded by walls, but in the 14th century, when Crete was part of the Republic of Venice, narrow cobblestone streets were built. The Renaissance mansions, arches, and Catholic churches have stayed the same. The Neratsa Mosque is the one building that shows how rough Rethymno's history has been. This used to be a Venetian church, but then it became a mosque and stayed that way until 1925. Now, it is the municipal Odeon of Rethymno, where music concerts are held regularly. Some Venetian buildings that still stand in Rethymno are the 17th century loggia, which the Ottomans turned into a mosque, and the 1629 Raimondi fountain, which has 2 pairs of Corinthian columns on either side of a Gothic arch.